Hello dear students. Today I am going to explain you about the advantages and disadvantages of accounting, and also I'll be explaining you the basic terms which are used in accounts. So first we'll see the advantages of maintaining accounting records. First one is permanent and reliable records. It means that when we maintain the accounting records, we get permanent data, and also we can rely and we can trust on these records which we have maintained. So permanent record means even if you want to see what has happened 5 years back, if you check those files, you'll come to know what has happened during that year or that date or during that month, whatever information you are looking for. So that is your first point about advantages. Next we have net result of business operations. Okay, whether we made profit or loss during that particular year, we come to know. Then we have ascertainment of financial position. We come to know the whether the company is, with the strengths and weaknesses of the companies while we prepare these accounting records. And also the next point, it says that facility of comparative study. It means comparison, to study the comparison, like we can compare this year's result with our previous year or 5 years back. How were we performing in our business organization, how were the profits then, or in case if we had a loss 10 years back, or this year, this accounting year, if we have faced a loss, why, to know that reason why we were not in losses the previous years. If to compare means the reason could be anything. If you want to compare our accounting or the work of the business, we can just go through these records which we have maintained under accounts. Then control over assets. Assets means, dear children, the properties of the company. Okay, so with this, when we record everything, so we know that the assets of the companies, how many of there it were there last year. If there is a decrease in the value of asset, why is it so, and all. So that was about disadvantages. If we see the limitations, you say limitations are the disadvantages, it is same. The first point, it says that records only monetary transactions. Accounts, it records only the actions, or let us say the activities which have happened in the business in terms of money. The rest of the activities, they are not recorded. So that is why it is said that it is one of the disadvantages. And then it is historical in nature. Historical in nature means whatever we are writing here in our books of accounts, they become history. Again present, we add fresh records. So that is why it is said that accounting information, it is the information which has already happened. It is historical in nature. And your first point, records only monetary transactions, means whatever activities have happened in money only are recorded. Rest of the actions are not recorded. Like let us say quality of the product which is being produced, we don't record that in accounts, because quality of the product, it doesn't have anything to do with money. Likewise, the amount of sales done, number of units. Let us say that I am mine is a laptop company, but I don't keep a record that 1000 laptops have been made and I have sold 900 laptops. Rather, I will write how many 900 sold laptops are for how much amount I have sold, and if 100 laptops are left out, how much amount is still with me. But actual record of the units of production of sales, we don't record. So that is about the first point. The third point, it says that price level changes are not considered. It means that whatever price change may occur time to time, that is not recorded in accounts. Only once recorded is recorded. Any ups and downs in the price changes, we don't go back and correct them. Then does not provide realistic information. It means that while preparing the books of account, the accountant's subjectivity is influenced in the work. Any fraud can happen while the records are being maintained. So it's very difficult to completely say that whatever information is given in the books of accounts is for real. So these are the limitations. And next slide we have is about basic terminologies which are used in accounts. Yes. Okay, so basic terms. This is very important, dear students. Everything, every term is new here for you. Like account, already I have told all the transactions of a particular, person or items we record here. Like I said in my previous video, all the purchases will be put up in purchase account. Sales will be put up separately. Whatever sales are done, then I said a supplier X, if we have, so if we are selling to him anything or buying from him anything, all the information pertaining to Mr. X will be put up into one heading, that is called as account. Then we have accounting entry. So whenever we are writing something in these accounts, that is called as accounting entry. When I'm putting an accounting entry in purchase book or sales book or Mr. X's book, so that is accounting entry. And transaction means any event which is related to sales, purchase, any activity which is happening in the organization, that is called as transaction. Then we have accounting period. Accounting period is of 12 months. Every business organization, they close their books of accounts yearly, and so that is called as accounting period. Jan to December is one, and 1st of April to 31st December of the next year is the other set of accounting period. Then fifth term we have proprietor. Proprietor means the owner of the company, who is actually putting all the investment and is working hard to get the profits. Then the sixth point we have capital. Capital means investment, the money which is put into the business for its operations, for its running, and all the profits whatever are coming will be added to this capital. Any losses are to be borne, then amount will be taken out from this capital amount. In case if any extra amount is brought into the business, the additional capital also will be added to this capital account. Okay, so these all are accounts, dear students. Proprietor account will be there. You'll see capital account, assets account, liabilities account, drawings account, debtors account. Okay, so but right now for you, it is important to know what are these terms actually are, because you'll frequently come across these in accounts. Seventh one is assets. Assets means all the properties of the organizations. It means it is of two types, tangible and intangible. Tangible means which you can touch. Intangible is the opposite of it. You cannot touch it. Like tangible properties of a company, land of the company, or let us say building of the company, machinery in the company. This all comes under tangible assets. And intangible assets means which we cannot touch, like goodwill of the company, let us say reputation, trademark of the company, or logo of the company, patents of the company. Patents means children, this is a property right which we use for using of an invention which we have taken from the owner of the invention. These in detail you will be learning about in your next year class. So those are called as intangible assets. You don't see them, but these all are properties of the company. Okay, then we have liabilities. Liabilities means what are the obligations which the company has to pay. Like assets is the properties, whatever the company will get, if and liabilities means whatever the company has to give, pay. Okay, like let us say creditors. Creditors means from people whom we have taken money. Those people will be called as creditors. We have to pay them back, isn't it? We are liable to pay them back. That is why creditors are called as a liability. In case if we have taken any loan from a bank, because we have to repay it, loan from the bank is a liability. The company is liable to pay to the bank the amount of loan it has taken. Then ninth point we have is drawings. Drawings is not here, making the art on a paper. These drawings means when the owner of the company takes the amount from the business for his personal use. That is called as drawings. Generally the amount whatever is there in the business, it belongs to the business. It should be used in the working of the business organization. But in case if owner, because of some necessity, might have taken the amount from the business, that is called as drawings, and he is supposed to put that money back in the business. Okay, for example, if I am running manufacturing company of laptop, as I said I have. If I have taken from my business some 50,000 rupees, later on I have to pay it back. I mean, I have to put it back in my cash, put it back in my business, give it back to my business, because whatever investment I am doing in the business, to have a proper record, I need to have a proper, spent and received amounts written in my books of records. All right. The 10th point, it tells about debtors. Debtors means a person, who is taking benefit from us without giving us money. For example, Mr. X is there. He is one of the suppliers. For him, to him, I have given some 20 laptops, but I did not get the money yet. So Mr. X will be my debtor. He is under my debt. Okay, means he has to give me the amount of those 20 laptops. Likewise, creditor means, let us say there is a supplier, Mr. Y, and I took some material from Mr. Y for the worth of 30,000 and I did not pay it yet. So Mr. Y will be my creditor. It means I have to pay to him. Okay. So that is what is the difference between debtor and creditor. Debtor means the one who has to pay to the company. Creditor means to whom the company has to pay the amount. For some reason, we might have got the services or goods from those people to whom we are supposed to pay back or receive back. So that is debtors and creditors. Purchases, whatever purchase we do, purchases is done in two ways. One is cash purchase and credit purchase. Cash purchase means where we directly pay the amount and we bring. Credit purchase means we get the items but we pay the amount later. Okay, that is cash and credit purchase. Likewise, sales also, we have cash sales and credit sales. Cash sales means once I have sold my laptop, if I immediately receive the cash, it is a cash sales to me. But I sold it, but the buyer who has taken the laptop from me has promised that she will pay me that 40,000 after 3 months. So that is called as credit sale. Means I sold it. I sold the item, but yet I did not receive the cash. Alright, so that was about sales. Then 14th point, we have stock. Stock means the unsold item, whatever is there with me, that is called as stock. Like I have manufactured some 1,000 laptops, 900 are already sold. 100 laptops which are left out, those are called as stock, which is left with me. So we have opening stock and closing stock. Like I said, every year we maintain the books of accounts. The previous year, let us say some 50 laptops are left. So that will be my opening stock. And this year's somewhere around 100 are left. So by end of the year, I'll be left with, my closing stock will be 150 laptops. Okay, stock means basically the unsold goods. And 15th point we have is revenue. Revenue means whatever the money is coming into the business, either through profits or if we have given money on loan to someone, if we are receiving interest on that, or if we have received any commission, or we have received any rent on our godowns or anything, any receipt, any amount which is coming into the organization is revenue. And expense, whatever the company is spending, is expenditure. Okay. 17th point, income. How the company's income will come to know when we, whatever money is coming in, the receipts, the revenue of the company, if you minus all the spent amount, all the expenditure of the company, the left out amount is the income which the company has made. 18th point, voucher. Voucher means, children, when as a company you are selling something, you keep or you purchase some, when you sell something, you keep a proof of the transaction, that is called as voucher. And when you purchase something, you get a receipt, that is called as receipt. Okay, for example, beautiful example I'll give you. You went to CMR, you took a nice jeans pant. Okay, if you see carefully, there will be 2 to 3 bills, that is again as per the requirement of the company organization, they will take the bills, but one copy of the bill will be given to you when you are purchasing that jeans, that is called as receipt. And the copy they are keeping along with themselves is voucher. Okay, so these were some basic important accounting terms. Uh, Hope you all have understood it. Thank you for listening to my class for the day. Good day, all.